All right, let's see how this turns out. First of all, let's see a bit of a real quick test. Layer, new layer. Oh, all right, it's carrying. Sorry about the. Um, I have Tourette syndrome, so sometimes I have these little tics that are a bit annoying. It is an unfortunate thing about me, but you know, we'll we'll try and make the best of it. So my idea today was to kind of just basically try out and see how the streaming works out for on YouTube because I've never streamed on YouTube, so I'm just basically curious to kind of give it a try, really. And I'm gonna be actually drawing something from my currently in development comic Achilles Shield Maiden. So I'm gonna make sort of an art piece of that, but I'm gonna just pull out some of the actual character designs for the references because there's so many of them at this point that I still haven't fully remembered every single little detail about their outfits and their mechs. All right, let's see. Who do I feel like drawing today? I mean, Jane is always a good choice. Nia is an always a good choice just because her outfit is really fucking colorful. I like it. But then again, there is the old faithful Sophia. Well, the big question is, do I feel like painting purplish stuff or greenish stuff? Well, let's see. Actually, I should probably do Sophia just because I need a good, serious kind of an illustration piece for like the cover for the first one. And given the fact that she is sort of like the focus of the first issues opening, I guess I probably am gonna have to focus on her for now. Let's see. Where's it doesn't have any. Then yeah, I'm trying to see how streams work on YouTube. Haven't really done it before, so yeah, it's an interesting little experiment. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely draw Sophia, so I'm gonna need the Sophia relevant stuff. Where's that piece? There we go. And I'm gonna probably need her Berserker. Where's Berserker? Berserker, Berserker, Berserker. Where the hell are you? I'm just gonna use this one. All right. Hide this. This is a nice flat one for the colors. And let's get it started. Let me just open back the stream. Now, my method of work is something that I like. I would only ever recommend people to try it out, as a kind of an exercise to free themselves from, you know, the standard ways of, constructing and everything like that. But it is an actual terrible way to draw. I'm the first one to say it. My work method kind of is, just kind of free form blobbing it until the forms sit in the way that I want them to, and then I just kind of start blending and rendering and all that. Unfortunately, I'm no like I have zero free time to take on any mm, work for hire stuff because my own creator-owned stuff is just first of all way more fun to do for me, and second of all, way more profitable for me. So it's kind of one of those very basic decisions. Like, it's what am I doing? Oh, ever since I've increased the resolution on Photoshop, it's just been a constant mess of me trying to hit hit a tool and just completely missing it, like an absolute unit. New layer. Yeah, this method actually is quite good for drawing monsters, just because it kind of frees you up. Like you don't overthink it, and you just kind of experiment on the canvas until you know land something that looks good, that looks like somewhere in the neighborhood of what you were looking for. That's the that's one of the small benefits of this method. Now, another benefit of this thing is that it kind of trains you to free yourself up. One of the reasons why I even work in this method is well, two reasons really. First one is my creative origins were more within the domains of sculpting. Back in high school, like sculpting was my big true love. Like I was massively obsessed with stuff like Stan Winston Studios movie magic, like freaking costumes of Alien, Predator, stuff like that, Jurassic Park, dinosaurs. So I spent pretty much 90% of my free time just constantly making full size sculptures of Predator and kind of to scale sculptures of like Jurassic Park dinosaurs, like from just random materials, And if I wasn't doing it like standard, like like basically trash materials, like I would be uh, borrowing clay from school, and I'd bring it home and just constantly sculpt. So this whole process that I do nowadays, my whole workflow is greatly influenced in a way that I would sculpt. I would go with larger forms and then reduce it to smaller forms and then kind of fiddle around with it. And this is one of those reasons why you will often see me use stuff like liquify tool and or like warp or something like that, just because my whole process pretty much kind of treats painting like a piece of clay. You know, so that's why I do it. But there is another bonus element to it all. One of the standard problems that you kind of you know while drawing that you can kind of get into is that moment where you draw a really cool sketch, and it looks cool, like it just captures everything, like it's amazing, like oh my god, there's so much life to it. And then you start drawing and you just fucking choke the living shit out of it, like there's nothing left in it. It's just this dead husk of nothingness. It's like, well, it's precise, yeah, sure, it's precise, but it's dead, Jim. So what I achieve with this process is the fact that I keep the raw energy of the sketch till the very end of the actual drawing process. Now, my drawing process is also very sloppy. It's sloppy for a very simple reason. I'm not making illustrations. I'm not an illustrator. I am a storyteller. My priority isn't to make a thing look perfect. My priority is to finish a panel so that I can move on to the next panel. And that's pretty much storytelling 101. Like you don't get the time that that an illustrator gets on an image, because it's just a waste of time. So everything you do has to be done, quickly. It has to be done with a sense of decisiveness. You got to be kind of decisive about your work. You got to know what you want to make, and you got to have the ability to kind of vomit it all out on either a real or a digital canvas. I'm actually glad that the YouTube stream works because, like, I've had this YouTube channel for a long time and it's been nothing but a dumping ground for just kind of some sped up things. But you never really saw me actually properly do things, unless it was just straight one-to-one kind of a, hey, here's the stream I did on Twitch, but I moved it here. And let's be honest, this place is about as restrictive as Twitch is when it comes to mature content and when it comes to playing music. So at this point, it doesn't even matter. Yes, that's exactly it. Audience's brain is one of the greatest tools that you can manipulate. I mean, use. I mean, work with. Yeah, this series is gonna be fucking nuts. Like, I've dabbled in all kinds of genres, be it romance, be it kind of action adventure with kind of Lovecraftian vibes, be it standard superheroes, be it like you name it, I kind of dabbled in that. But this, like, for the longest time, if people when people ask me, like, I was making these characters as doodles for a while now on streams, just kind of just basically messing around. Not, I had no plans for it to be anything but just kind of a vent of me drawing something I don't often get to draw. Mechas, and mechas and pilots and stuff like that. Like, I've always loved it, but my opinion was all the stories have been done. See, when it comes to this stuff, like, when it comes to visual designs, it's all been done. Like, but that doesn't so much matter as much as all of the stories being done. As in, we've done it all. It's like, you want aliens, you want this, you want that. It's all been done. So it's very hard to find a justification to sit down and go, I am consciously going to make a mecha story because, well, what's the point? So for the longest time, when people ask me, it's like, are you going to make something of it? I'm like, no. Like, literally, what's the point? Everything's been done. Like, there's nothing I can add to this whole genre with my own, kind of doodles. And let's face it, like, none of this shit is in any way original. Originality is kind of left by the wayside a long time ago when it comes to creativity. Like, like the stupidest things that people will often come and say to any creator is like, oh, hey, that reminds me of. It's like, well, yeah, everything looks like something at this point. We've been as a species creating entertainment for so long that, let's be honest, we're all just kind of fucking trying to find a new way to kind of decorate the wheel while keeping it spinning. But like I said, big problem. There wasn't a story to this. I had nothing. It's just like, I had a bunch of cool looking people that I was drawing and a cool looking robot. But like I said, to me that meant nothing. Like, geez, just and no reason to commit. Because you gotta understand, when I commit to a story, like, I don't commit to, I'm gonna make a short story of like 60 pages. It's gonna be great. Like, no, I'm like, so this is gonna be a fucking saga of kind of just like 800 pages at the very minimum. Then we'll see where it takes us. So, in these days, I'm like very fucking careful on what I commit to. Yeah, if a story has something really fucking valuable and strong to it, like, that's what I'm making. It's the same thing with Sunstone. It's the same thing with That's Visual. It's the same thing with Fine Print. Like, all of those stories have some very, very strong things coming along. you know, so of course they justify their existence. Same as with the Queen and the Woodborn. Same thing is like, these are stories that have a very strong foundation and a very strong backbone, and its finale is going to just absolutely fucking dunk on things. So that's fun. But still, big problem here was, the fuck am I gonna add to the mecha genre? Well, at some point it hit me. What if, and hear me out, what if my protagonists are over 18? Like, that's not the big twist. That's not the big, but you gotta understand, like, that's part of it, okay? I'm like, listen, mom's in mechs. And you know what? I went for it. All right. So right now, like I already have, I have about a folder full of designs now. I'm already working on some pages because come April 1st, that's when I'm starting, and that's not an April Fool's joke. That's where I'm starting with the full production of the prologue, because the prologue is gonna be like about 24, 26 pages or so, around that much, where it's gonna be just like it's gonna be absolutely insane. It's gonna have mechs ripping heads off other mechs and shit like that. It's just gonna be absolutely insane. But you know, everybody who reads my stories, what else to expect. Heavy emotional investment. You know, just like heads are being ripped off, hearts are gonna be ripped out, and by that I mean you. Oh yeah, I've had this YouTube channel for years now. Like it's just kind of been casual here, and then at some point, an old video drawing of Wonder Woman kind of exploded, and it's like fucking got 2 million views or something, and then I started getting a massive influx of people, and then I'm like, no, I don't need this kind of pressure. Delete the video. I am a bad YouTuber, is what I'm saying. See, um, when it comes to Evangelion, I've only ever seen the first original series about 20 years ago, and never even picked up any of it later on. And a few days ago, I'm like, I'm working on this mecha series, right? I'm like, shit, I gotta I gotta pay my homages to the big ones. I gotta look at them first. I'm gonna watch, see what they've done. Just kind of like, because when it comes to this shit, like you're gonna do these ideas that are inevitably gonna, kind of overlap with what's already been done. So, as much as you can, you're trying to kind of avoid it to at least keep an air of originality, if not originality itself. So I'm like, I'm gonna go and watch. I'm gonna go and just rewatch that old Evangelion stuff. So 3 episodes in, I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then I'm like, what else has been done of Evangelion? Maybe the newer stuff makes sense. And then I look at it, it's like there's like a fucking 6 or 7 movies on Netflix that have just ridiculous names that I can't even make heads or tails. I'm like, is this like you are not alone? Is this a sequel? Is this a prequel? You are not gonna drink this tea. Okay, good. I don't know. I've never found an anime so confusing to watch as Evangelion is. I still remember back in the day my old experience of watching it for the first time and going like, Shinji, you're pissing me off. Come on, man, just do it. Just get in the robot. And then he gets in the robot and it's like gets into that weird rivalry with Asuka. I'm like, all right, it's getting fun. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, and it's kind of picking up the pace. It's getting better and better. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm into this. Let's go. Now it's interesting. And then hit pause. There was some sort of a school episode, and everybody clapped. And then Asuka is in a hospital bed, and shit gets weird. And I'm like, hold on. Staring at the DVD, I was like, did I miss some fucking episodes? Jesus Christ. I still remember that. That anime scarred me. Like, I understand why it is so important and why it is so big, but my God, the my original viewing was not a pleasant experience. Uh, I usually art streamed on Twitch, but I basically kind of it just hit me to kind of try it out to try and stream on YouTube because I've had this YouTube channel for freaking years and years now and just basically haven't done anything on it. And back in the day, at least I had certain benefits of streaming on Twitch where I could just kind of I could listen to some music in the background. But nowadays Twitch has kind of really gotten draconic about that. So I'm like, well, at that point, I may as well fucking stream on YouTube. YouTube has the same kind of boundaries when it comes to mature content. So you're not gonna see me stream a lot of Sunstone here. You might at some point. It's just gonna be the safer work stuff. But you know, it's weird. Hey, Greg. Oh, nothing. Just decided to take a break a bit from Sunstone and kind of draw some mechas and pilots for my new comic. So I decided to see whether or not I can make a YouTube stream work, and apparently I can, which is a good news. Yeah, crank that Metallica. Mpa, 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 mpa. Some weird ass 8-bit shit. Let's go. Oh man, that just fucking cracked me up to no end. Like I'm just like, how's that porridge tasting right now? It's just like, here's Metallica streaming online. Oops, karma's a fucking bitch, I guess. Uh, like I get them. Listen, like it was their creation and their whole initial thing against piracy. Like I understand all that, but it's like it's still you can't help but chuckle. uh, Nothing. That's literally an impossible comic on multiple levels. First of all, uh, crossovers are very difficult to arrange on you know just on any given day. But this crossover is done with a very specific plot, which you would have to have three separate parties to approve. you know, you'd have to have DC approve it, Dark Horse approve it, and Sony, no, sorry, Square Enix approve it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see that happen. First of all, and second of all, I ain't got time for that shit. I got my own comics to make. Yeah, plus, yeah, exactly. The profits will be split among multiple companies, which means less money for me. And I'm sorry, listen, I love what I do, but this shit ain't charity. It's like I'll rather work on comics that actually pay the bills. Sometimes I tend to sound like very kind of money obsessed person, but it's not that. It's just that I've seen what my health is doing through years, and you know what? I got about 10 years of this in me, maybe 12 left, and then after that I'll be lucky if I can still fucking walk. So it's one of those things. It's like I gotta think of the future. I gotta back myself up. Mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah, that's which was fun. The second volume is gonna be absolutely fucking nuts. Like Jesus Christ. Like that Vigil one, like it had its epic moment, but that Vigil two, it's just it's just on a whole nother level. Both artistically writing and arts wise, but it's just like just the simple spectacle of when it gets spectacular. Like it's just oh wow. Mm, mm. All right. Let me just lay down the foundations for all the other elements here so that I can actually get to. this is the this is the awkward part of when you're still not fully used to your every little design on the characters, so you actually have to have reference materials for your own fucking characters. The embarrassment, the shame. Oh yeah, I gotta send more death vigil to my assistant to for reformatting. I went and hired a friend to basically help me reformat the pages and for tapas because no, sorry, not for tapas, for what's it called, webtoons. For that visual, because web comics is where the money is. It's like it's like, how do you make your money? I give my shit out for free. People are people's responses to that are always fucking hilarious. Like, wait, what? It's like, trust me. I have this very weird strategy. Okay, I get people hooked on my work because I give them good quality stuff, and then they want to support more of that good quality stuff. Fucking mind blown. All right. I think I've I think I've assembled all of the basic stuff. I can tweak her scars later, and now I can actually go to the rendering. Okay. Now to do the thing that every fucking free form artist hates. Image, just rotate canvas, flip canvas horizontal, and go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a calm person. It's just every time, every time the canvas flips, so does my sanity. No, it's not. Like it's better than it used to be. Like I've been training myself to think both sided, which is not fucking easy. I'm already weird and left-handed, so it's just like everything's weird with me. Okay, it's just like the funniest thing is when people come to me, it's like, can you teach me your methods of drawing? I'm like, please reconsider. It's like step one, use the force. Step two, break the tablet with force. It really makes you notice all the things. It's just like it's that brief moment where you're like, oh man, it's kind of starting to look the way I want it to. Well, time to break this moment of happiness for myself. Time to just destroy this shit for myself. Just like time to hate myself. Flips canvas. Flips table. Okay. Let's say I'm kinda okay with. I'm not though. Fucking, this is terrible. This is the worst. Don't mind my insanity. It's just that eternal enemy of every artist, imposter syndrome. It's like that little voice in your head that just goes constantly. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna say you're crazy. I mean, yeah. I didn't say they were wrong. Thankfully, I've outgrown the imposter syndrome by doing this one crazy step, and that is practiced my ass off, so at this point I know that it's gonna turn out in the end exactly the way I want it to. It's just the mid steps that are always annoying. Hmm. All right. And now, considering I'm on an old ass Photoshop and can't rotate the canvas, I'm just gonna fucking rotate her. 700 IQ. All right, time to finish fiddling with her facial shape and then actually get to proper rendering and get this thing to start looking, you know, nice. All right. And now rendering. No, rendering. Refining. Yeah, that is the just sheer brain power right there in action. And now, for victory, all I need to do is completely shut down my brain. And brain going off in three, two. Who's the hardest character to draw? I don't know, nobody at this point. If there's a character that's actually a car, that's the hardest thing to draw for me. And I don't mean Autobot, okay? Like that's a robot. That's like a robot that fucking rolled, that put like glue on itself and rolled in like a car fucking trash pile, you know? No, I mean like if there's a character that's an actual car, I'm like fuck that. I quit. I will fake an arm injury for that. I'll be like, I'm sorry, I have sprained my neurosyphilis. Yes, I. Shut up. Any anything to avoid drawing cars. Fuck that. Yeah, basically you gotta space the fuck out when you're doing the just basic values and shading and stuff like that because the best way. Oh my god, why am I we're back on that whole thing where I missed the complete tool and just start using the wrong one. But yeah, the reason why it's good to space out while illuminating your thing and just kind of setting up values is you kind of you let a very instinctive part of your brain just kind of uh, look at the image and just adjust things until they feel real enough. That's why I always kind of try to just completely uncheck my brain when it comes to this step of the job. I wish I could do that with my fucking Tourette syndrome, but no, that part's still like, oh boy, but you're inspired, buddy. I'm here with you. Oh no, I've drawn Batmobile. Batmobile is okay. Batmobile is not a real car. Batmobile is bullshit car. Bullshit cars are fine. Yeah, my problem is here's the thing. I don't use references, and then my problem is finding references when you actually have to draw a card that exists. That's that's just fucking just nightmare. That's just kill me now, you know? Because like I hate that. There like every time I have to draw something that actually exists and I can't bullshit my way through, I I'm like, can I get can I get a different job? Like I don't know, sorting fish, just anything. Like you have no idea how just deeply I dislike searching for references because it is such a tedious job. You never get the angle that you really fucking need. So it's just it's pain. Listen, sorting fish, anything works, okay? Just as long as I'm not fucking looking for references of cars. Imagine if the room also had one of those like it was super echoey, so it's like it's just bouncing everywhere, and it's basically like the predator's talking. Except it's me going. It's me fucking turning into a goddamn ape. But you know what? Apes strong together. I don't I don't multi-stream. I just don't have the time for it. Like I the last thing people need me is on other streams is me just fucking being on the side, just getting lost in my thoughts and fucking Touretting my way through through their goddamn audio fucking outputs. Just no. What? What? Exactly. Exactly. You are my rocket. Rocket best ape. Oh, that's Maurice, honey. Coffee, yes, always. Thank you. Hi. I love it how in these stages, all of my characters always kind of look like these weird haunted things before I actually start blending colors. It's like she looks like less like herself and more like Proto Morticia Adams. Exactly, the blob blob blink. We don't make mistakes, we just make happy fucking blobs. Blob your way to success. 10 easy blobs to blob. Ah, thank you. And her eyes really do be all over the place. Oh, and now she's secretly Batman. Nope. So for the longest time, I thought this was allergy, right? And then, finally found an actual doctor that, gives a shit. So she's like, "Oh, hey, so since when have you had Tourette syndrome?" I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, "That's Tourette syndrome that you have, right?" I don't know. I thought that was an allergy. Isn't Tourette syndrome when you curse a lot? I mean, it's really hard to notice that in Croatia. We all curse a lot here. I'm sorry, like that's literally what fucking the only ever examples of Tourette syndrome on TV that you see is just people cursing, just and that's just Balkans here. It's just every, no, it's accurate that on Balkans we actually just curse a lot, and unfortunately, it carried over to my English vernacular where I tend to be that guy in the room that just adds f bombs to everything. I am the f bomber. Hmm, 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 hmm. Yeah, because usually, like in media, they usually just go with the curses and stuff like that because it's like, oh look, they said a word, because it's easier for them to kind of depict that, but uh, it's an annoying thing to have, but you know, it's doable, it's manageable. There's good days and there's bad days. Honestly, the worst part is like that it's really intense whenever I'm really fucking inspired. Like it responds to like a mental states, and stuff like that. Like it's not a thing that really pops up like when I'm angry or something. But if I'm inspired, oh boy. Mm, 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 mm. Hey, Geralt. Oh, Linda is on Tapas and Linda is on Webtoons. She's fucking rocking there. She's 10 times bigger than I am. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah, Sunstone is still fucking going strong though. Like we were about to release volume 7 of that, and then after that, like it's gonna end eventually with volume 20. So there's that thing's gonna go on for a while. Mm, 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 mm. And now for the magical brush of magic. Mm, mm. I fucking swear. I made this brush for the first time like about 18 years ago or so, like maybe even no, actually no, actually it was 20, yeah. And ever since then, it's literally been the defining part of my workflow because it turns digital colors into fucking oils. I can just do whatever I want with them. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, that's pretty good explanation, pretty good description of what I do. Because basically, when I draw, I do often kind of draw with my eyes unfocused. I just kind of zoom out on my own and just I let the colors settle. I let the values you know fall in place before I go and do anything else. So it's always kind of big forms, big values, big elements, and then going to smaller, and then after that goes the blending, the rendering, and all that stuff. Now, mind you, like there's a lot of way better artists than me at this stuff. I am as good as I need to be. Now, I am still gonna improve drastically over the course of the next few years because it's inevitable when you work as many hours a week as I do. Like, yeah, results are gonna show. But my priority is never to make perfect artwork. My priority is to make artwork good enough and fast enough. Now, like I said, as I grow, my artwork gets better and I get faster. Result is, comics are gonna look better. But until then, it's all just kind of a matter of step by step progress. This is one layer. I prefer less layers. Like I do multiple layers when I'm making a comic page, but that's basically kind of like each panel is its own layer kind of thing where I can work fast and on the flow. But when I'm actually kind of painting, like I tend to do a very limited amount of layers because my origins are traditional paintings. I used to do uh, I used to do acrylics. I used to do oils. One of my predominant ways of earning money back in the day was painting wall murals. And with that stuff, there's no layers. You just do it. You kind of have to commit to your decisions. Now, with with digital work, it's the covering nature of the colors that really, elevates your options here. But beyond that, yeah, you don't really need much more than a few layers. How do I pronounce Stjepan? That's how. Oh, France is definitely on our to-do list. Like it's been on our to-do list just before the Corona hit. And then that kind of fucked over all of our plans. We have big plans to go to France, to go to Italy. We haven't done those conventions before. We've predominantly been doing American conventions over time, and we'll eventually go back to those as well. But right now we have been wanting to prioritize and do a few European conventions as well. Because conventions for us is just kind of like our own little kind of mental vacation. You kind of you back off from all the work. Mm, mm, Sorry, what? Uh, oh yeah, don't worry. You just missed the part where talked about my Tourette's, so it's not a problem at all. Don't worry about it. Mm, mm, eh, mm, eh. Continues forcing Goose as canon. What did I walk into? Oh yeah, Greece, of course, again, because Linda does need more research material. She could just never get enough of that research material. Mhm. Which then I have to fucking haul uphill. Thanks, honey. Exactly. It's good exercise. I almost died. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay, yeah, of course, up a mountain. I was your average scholar going up a mountain to I don't know shut up. Fuck off. But yeah, I am hot. I got that body of a movie star, Jack Black. Oh yeah, the Mecha Comic is gonna be fucking nuts. Like no joke. Like I like I would rarely kind of just go and press on the art in my comics being any good. Don't get me wrong. Like I know that that people like it and that's fine. But you gotta understand that from my own standpoint, like I always just look at my own work and it's just like, ugh, because it's an artist thing. We all kind of have this inherent sense of self-loathing and this imposter syndrome that just doesn't drop off. But with this one, even I'm like, damn, this is gonna be good. Yeah, I've always been a fucking nerd for mechas. Like, just since childhood. For me, I think for me, basically, it started off. Earliest one was Mazinger. That's the first stuff that we could get here in Croatia back in the day. And then later, after that, was Robotech, or I think that's known as Macross also. Then next after that there was a wave of Voltron that came to Croatia, and oh my god. Voltron was my jam. Weirdly enough, I can't force myself to go to see the Netflix one completely. I always kind of lose attention. I don't know why. Because I love the way it looks. I love the designs. I love the animation. It's basically it's that kind of like Avatar, The Last Airbender type animation that I'm like, oh, I'm all about it. But for some reason, it's just every time it loses me. Just so sad. Probably it's probably just me, and I'm just kind of like. Sometimes you gotta be really in the mood for something for it to properly grab you, and I understand that very well. So I'm gonna keep giving it chances every now and then and see whether or not it grabs hold. Hey, I'm not knocking Jack Black's body. I'm just saying I'm built like that. Hmm, Jack Black's a goddamn legend. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, Power Rangers. That. Oh my God, when Power Rangers became available to me, oh boy, Hmm. like I was a wee bit obsessed for a while. It's just so that just just the very notion that I'm now drawing myself a mecha comic is just like hmm, it's like if a kid me could see what I'm doing right now, he'd be like, "Holy shit! I grew up into an absolute pervert," and also, "Yay, mechas!" Hmm. And I'll be like, "Piss off." Yeah, predominantly round brush. Like as long as it leaves a trail, I'm fine. Which Power Ranger do I like? Every single one of them. I'm the kind of guy, who when it comes to these shows, like I'm the kind of guy who loves the leader, but I also fucking adore the nerd, of the group. It's like, so for me, like, there were days when Jason was my fucking, oh yeah, fucking Red Ranger, But then there are days it's like, oh yeah, fucking Billy's gonna make shit up, let's go, you know. And then there are days when I'm like, that Pink Ranger though. Listen, it's I was a teenager, I did not have Lightspeed Rescue in Croatia back in the day. Back when I was big into Power Rangers, like that was not available. Plus, the big reason why I was into the original Power Rangers was the fact that they were riding robot dinosaurs, and to me that was basically like, if you could combine and create the coolest thing imaginable, it was robot dinosaurs. I'm sorry, the conversation stopped then. It's just like the two things that I fucking adore: giant robots and dinosaurs. We're good, we're good. No, it's fine, we're good. Hmm? What? Oh, Kamina. Fucking Kamina, yeah, you gotta you gotta believe in me that believes in you. Ah, good for her. Like, no joke, she was amazing. Like, the actress, like, she had a genuine fucking presence and fucking wall to wall charm. Like, just wow. Like, there's actors and actresses that just kind of get hired for these kinds of roles because they, just kind of, like, they look good, but have the personality of a fucking wooden plank left on the seashore to rot, But she had the personality, like, just actual fucking personality, which, yeah, it goes a long way. Have I ever done some anime style art? Yeah, back in the day, like, while I was still kind of searching for a style, I had a short phase where I was trying, where I was experimenting with manga style stuff, which, ironically enough, ended up being useful because at some point I did a DVD cover for one of the DVD covers for the Witchblade anime American edition. So, it's worth it. Okay, this face is starting to look the way I want it to, and of course, when I get that illumination right, it's gonna be even better. But, them proportions though are a little bit elongated. And this Master Bruce is why we work digitally. Master Bruce, why do we warp? Because we can't draw for shit. Pizza or burgers? For me, always pizza. Yeah, pizza or burgers, yes. You know what? Yeah, that I would like to change my answer to yes. Mia would win, just because of the nature of what she is and how the whole thing operates. She would literally just mentally destroy the pilots. Just absolutely, just ugh. What am- I was sure I swapped you. Maybe I didn't. Hmm, 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 hmm. I have actually drawn a bunch of Xena covers back in the day. That was among my early career stuff. Was I used to draw, Witchblade, and I used to draw a lot of covers for Dynamite, and some of the covers that I did were for Xena Warrior Princess comic. Hmm, hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Wild Force Power Rangers had a fucking banger of a theme. I used to like a lot of their opening songs. Her hair is it's not dyed. These things are basically her hair is replaced by nanofibers. It's kind of like in 24th century. It's one of the fashion trends, and the shield maidens, with given who they are actually in that time, are basically like, they were big on kind of presenting these fashion trends and all that stuff. That was when the Earth was you know functional and not an absolute hellhole of people trapped by in the few remaining cities by an alien fucking force that's just knocking at the door consistently. Also, this hair is basically my own personal way of going when people go, I'm gonna cosplay your character. I'm like, all right, good luck, because this is gonna be hard. It's like whoever fucking solves this, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be promoting your fucking cosplay for the next 3 months. I'm just gonna be sharing it constantly on a daily basis, just going like, all right, they have solved the eternal puzzle. Oh, the mechas are fucking massive. Like, let me just. So humans are basically in a small pod that's in the chest. So as you can imagine, a human being is basically up to this size, let's say. Now these are some of the protagonist mechas: Aphelion, Diablo Red, and Berserker. And there's three more. Then this is Alien Commander's mech, and this is the unknown, the God Machine Marduk. And the God Machine Marduk actually has he, he has a he has a bit of a let's say second form. And yeah, so these mechas are fucking they're- by the time, like, these things are gonna be Godzilla sized, like some of them. So it's just it's gonna be that proper giant robot feel, okay? Like, splits a galaxy in half and all that. Hmm. All right, come on, baby, come on, Tourette's. Can you fucking not? Just, can I be inspired for 5 seconds without you just going nuts on me? I can't leave it. I'm literally trying to finish a sentence without being interrupted by it. Okay. Fuck you. Ah, yes. The Goldar. This is Goldar Prime. Shit, now I'm thinking of the team of the Wild Force Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm working on like sort of a cover image, but yeah, I'm still not working proper proportions of the cover image, so it's gonna be her. And basically for now I'm just gonna paste over Berserker in the background until I kind of decide where I'm gonna go with him. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Just kind of to get a get an idea of what I want with it, Basically gonna have, Berserker somewhere in the background like this, But I'm not sure about the placement here, or if I'm gonna do something more creative with the placement, just because I gotta have the room for the logo of the comic and all that stuff. So I could, well, technically, let me see, image size. What's the size of this? Oh, this is oversized. Nice. Okay, good. Then I can basically reduce her size to something more kind of to measurement, where I can kind of take into consideration that the mech is behind her. Then I can do the where's pa pa da, pa. Where my logo. Well, let's take this version of it for now, just so that I can take a quick check and I can like have it, yeah. In the background here, and it will make for a nice cover. In fact, it would not only make for a nice cover, it would make for a nice cover template where I could have every cover be a character with the mech behind, and kind of do this. This can work. This can work real nicely. So I go with something like stroke, and let's pick her hair color for the outline. Okay. Yeah, something like this. This is just basically a placeholder. But yeah, composition wise, this can work really nicely. Also, soon I'm gonna have to go back to ZBrush and start creating all of the. I don't know. It's don't worry about that stuff. I'm gonna let the illumination actually cover that. Gaussian blur is a very cheap effect. I don't like it. I want like there's more interesting ways to simplify stuff. So for instance, like one of my favorite things is sometimes I basically do this. I will duplicate a layer and then I will apply a cutout filter. Now the thing that the cutout filter does really well is it simplifies an image. You know, it it basically summarizes it into some basic shapes and forms. And I am probably making a terrible mistake right now because oh, never mind. Yeah, this is Photoshop CS3, which right now is kind of struggle busting, which is funny because I have an absolute monster of a computer, but Photoshop CS3 doesn't really recognize that. So, you know, actually, I should probably try and cancel this. Yeah, okay. Now, files, save as, and I'm gonna do a TIFF. There we go. And I'm actually gonna name this for a change. It's gonna be Sophia Cover. All right. There we go. Okay. Now I can fuck around. Filter artistic cutout. Oh wait, no. I just okay. Yeah, it's gonna do it like this. Good. Well, apparently the rumors are that Mecha Gojira that we're gonna see in the in the upcoming movie, that it's actually like it's kind of a tradition in these movies that they use kind of parts of Godzilla to create the Mecha Godzilla. But apparently rumors are that they're using the Ghidorah head as the foundation for the current Mecha Godzilla. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I I tried the subscription one. It didn't really work for me. Oh my God, can you chew through this? Come on, buddy. I believe in you. I wa- You're making me look bad in front of the crowd, okay? It's like I'm like, let me show you guys this thing that I do sometimes with the cutout filter. It's really nice and cool, and and my cutout filter is like, and I took that personally. It's like, fuck you, then. All right. Anyways, I can do fun things with cutout filter. It's just apparently right now it's like, yeah, it's old and creaky, but it gets shit done. Now the problem right now is that this thing is actually a rather large image, like way larger than I'm gonna need for the actual cover. But I still prefer the CS3 because it has everything I needed to do, and it it does smudging right. I don't know why what they fucked with in the later versions of Photoshop, but when I do this in Photoshop CS3, right, I do this basic brush. I can use it to pull to in a very precise way colors. I can pull any color I want. So that means, you know, when I'm working and carving shapes, I don't have to constantly pick eraser, pick pens. No, I can just go. Hey, it's like I want this. I want this here. I wanna I wanna do things with the form. I can just use this constantly, and it shortens my fiddling with Photoshop. And the new Photoshops, they are for some reason determined that everything needs to be just kind of smudgy, pooly with a fall off. It's like it's never 100% thing. It's always gonna kind of dribble away and just into just nothingness, and it just pisses me off. So yeah, I never really ended up transferring to any of the new ones. Multiply is a mode that always darkens things, and it darkens it by applying the light of this of any color that you do, but also applying its saturation. So basically, it's an additive mode that every time you pull, it's going to add more and more and more. uh, Hard light is a bit more. Um, it's harder to describe because it really comes down to application. Hard light basically functions on the logic of one half of this thing being darkening constantly, and the other half is going to be a lightening. So at a half of height of your color square here. So anything below half, if I'm using hard light, it's gonna be adding that color but also darkening. But if I go above it, it's gonna be adding color and also lightening. It's kind of my own shorthand of adding some vivid color into things, while at the same time, adding values that I want into it. It's something that I've gotten used to. I don't think it's an optimal way of working, but it's kind of, yeah. This is why this is why I always say, Teaching people your ways is dangerous because your ways may not be the best ways. Sometimes you can spend your whole life doing things the wrong way, but you're used to it and you can make it work for you. You know, this is why I would make a terrible art teacher because I'm self-taught. Everything here is just kind of my own weird extrapolations. Like I didn't have anybody to teach me Photoshop. Linda and I just fucked around in it and just like we fucked around and then we found out. You know what I mean? And that's been our experience. And then after that, that's how I made the blender brush. This thing was made for the first time in CS2 back in the day when Photoshop blending was a nightmare for everybody. And people just couldn't fucking blend colors in a very effective, fast way. So there were these entire tutorials that were like, "Oh hey, I did this whole fucking dance on the moonlight with on one leg while fucking juggling 7 plates full with uh, Yorkshire pudding, and that's how I blended this thing within 45 minutes." And then one day there's me fucking around trying to kind of make a waterfall brush from a smudge brush and realize that this thing is blending colors. I picked up on that and started messing with it, and 20 minutes later, I'm like, I got a blending brush and it blends colors. So it was actually funny because at that time there was an artist, a big CG artist, Nyla. She actually posted her big blending tutorial. It's just things where it's like jumping through hoops to get the results, and it's like, and 20 minutes later you get this. And then, of course, there's me, the absolute jackass, going into the chat, posting one of my blended kind of torsos, muscular torsos. I'm like, I did this in 2 minutes. And just everybody just like, fucking bullshit. I'm like, no, really. And then I've shown myself in action how I'm progressing, and people are like, oh my god, share the brush. I'm like, I'm still fiddling with it. Give me a few days. I just need to get the refine the settings. And the thing is, like, they kept pushing, so I ended up giving them an unrefined brush, and like a week later I realized that I could improve the performances of the brush drastically by unchecking spacing. And like the very reason that brush existed was because I was a self-taught dumbass fucking around, like clicking on things. This is one of those things where I usually tell people, it's like, don't be afraid. Like when you get a program, like it's good to fucking go to tutorials, okay? Like it's perfectly fine. Go find yourself tutorials, it'll speed you up. But never be afraid to just, click on things. It's not gonna explode. Hmm. Yeah, those were fucking old. Actually, in that tutorial PDF, I actually put like assembly guide for the blending brush. That was one of the, because I first released it on CG Talk, and then oh my god, like that was funny. Just watching people be like, "Holy shit, did I this actually works?" Hmm, hmm. All right, gonna need to put her scars in proper spots. Where's this spot? Yeah. Hmm. 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 Listen, you may be hyped about them, but I'm gonna fucking hate myself over time because of them. It's gonna be like, post update. Hey, Stjepan, you forgot the scars here. Fuck. This is gonna, this is gonna be my tattoos 2.0. Whenever I make a character with tattoos, it's just like, okay, here's my tattoo map. This tattoo goes here. This tattoo goes there. It's just like inevitably forget some. There will be a Scarborough soon enough. Don't tempt me, Frodo. Ah, hey, I hope you like it. Yeah, it can't be worse than Mercy. That's Jesus Christ. Me with Laura. She's got like one, two, three tattoos, and I'm like, okay, good. Here comes the story. So now she's got four tattoos. It's just like at some point, five tattoos maybe. What is this character's name? Sofia Gagarin. Her actual birth name is Sofia Gagarina, but during high school she was very tomboyish, very butch. So she had a nickname from this one girl. So this girl basically nicknamed her Sofia Gagarin, which is kind of a like it's a gendered form of last name. Like it's something that Russian names have, some Slavic names also have. So uh, it was kind of an ongoing joke, and then later on when she became a shield maiden, she kept that out of spite. Because spite moves mountains. Am I planning on doing more lives? Oh, live streams. Oh yeah. Just depends when I have the time, really. Because right now I am up to my eyeballs in Sunstone. I gotta finish the next update during the next 5 days. And then after that, next month I'm opening with Sunstone again, just because I gotta finish it completely till the 15th, so that I can send it off to print. Then after that, there's fine print, so I'm gonna have to figure out what from fine print I can stream, because oh boy, like Sunstone is challenging to stream, but fine print, it's gonna be up there, yeah. So however, whenever I'm working on Achilles Shield Maidens, like that's very safe for me to stream, and also the Queen and the Woodborn is really safe for me to stream. So those are gonna be my kind of streamables. Huh. I actually have a story for a really fucking twisted dark horror, like like just really fucking just terrifying stuff. Actually, I have two ideas for them, but my problem is the time frame. Like I only can do so many things at once, and at this point, like I'm already fucking overburdened. I'm working on five comics and a novel at the same time right now, so it's kind of it's kind of the fuck am I doing right now? You know, what is my life? Actually, my life is what I wanted it to be, so yeah, that's fine, I guess. Hmm. But yeah, I definitely do have something in mind, and this is something that I wanted to make in like predominantly kind of either black or white, black and white, or very desaturated, like just really fucking moody thing, you know. But again, gotta have the time. Mm, mm, mm. uh, every single thing that I'm working on is a personal project that I end up publishing eventually. I I make comics, like I make my own comics, because you know, I can, and once it's done, I end up publishing it. Most of these comics are basically Patreon funded at this point, so you know, people get to see them, you know, take shape and read them as they're made. And then once done, you know, there's gonna be a printed edition of every single one of them, so that's gonna be fun. And this has given me the freedom to go around the whole standard comic book store model, because that really didn't work for me. Like most comic book stores didn't bother to carry my work, and you know, I'm okay with that. Like nowadays, especially, you know, so nowadays I get to make my books and just, you know, send them off to bookstores, to Amazon. There are still comic book stores that will carry them, and I always encourage people to, you know, if you have a good comic store that will order it for you, fucking by all means go there, you know. And yeah, like every single thing that I do ends up, you know, being an actual printed book. Ravine Volume 3, when? I don't know. Ravine was my first book that I wrote and wrote, you know, where I was both the writer and an artist. And unfortunately, it was a flop. And don't get me wrong, like I'm the first one to say I understand exactly all of the ways I've made mistakes with Ravine, you know. So, you know, in order for Ravi to make a comeback, like it's basically gonna be at some point when, you know, like my general plan is to give Ravine a second chance for life after that vigil is completed, like the full story. And I have multiple reasons for that. And then once that vigil is completed and released, my plan is basically to go to Ravine and rework the first volume, because the first volume is the weakest bit of writing I've ever done, because I was new to it, I was inexperienced, and my big flaw in Ravine was that I was building this world, right? And as a creator, you kind of you want your audience to immediately understand every nuance of the world. It's like you want to show them the grandeur of your vision, you know. But what you're really doing is burying them with terms, with names, with nonsense that they could learn in a very natural way through the story. And instead, you know, like there is a scene in Ravine Volume 1 where I stop the plot so that Lynn can stop at an outpost so that she can read a book and study up. And then I'm like, hey, audience, read this fucking book. Literally, like there's like a spread. There's like, let me teach you about the stuff. Then later on, there's a spread. Let me teach you about the stuff. So it's a very awkward, clunky way of delivering exposition. And over time, I've advanced as a writer. So now uh, I could easily take that first book and do a good solid rework of it, where it's like some things would get removed, some things would stay, it would get connected in a better way, it would get delivered in a far better way. Because like even within Ravine, like when you take a look at book one and book two, the leap in storytelling narrative quality is a quantum one. Like the sheer quality of Ravine 2 compared to Ravine 1 is just, it's incomparable. Like it's just all of a sudden, like every character is a character that you can care about because they're interesting, they're fun, they're they're intriguing. But in volume one, I gave you nothing to work with. I gave you a lot of names, and it's like, well, you gotta earn that volume two, bitch, you know. And I fully believe that my plan is this basically. Once that visual is done, I will rework volume one. Volume two will get a few visual upgrades as I'm a better artist now, so I can easily just tweak it to look even better. And then volume three, I would make volume three, and then I would publish those three together as one book, basically the first chapter of Ravine, kind of like 360 pages, just a big old chunker of a tome, just like bam, read this, and then we'll see. Hmm. Oh, Ravine was dense, but not dense. Ravine flows well with Volume 2, but it's clunky with Volume 1, and I mean just terribly clunky. You know, uh, it's it's like the plot's about to start moving and then hits a wall. Starts moving, hits a wall. Starts moving, hits a wall. So it's kind of like that. Now, give me one moment here. I gotta go. I've had about 10 cups of coffee, and you know what? What goes in's got to go out. Be back in a second. All right, I'm back. Hmm. Listen, my cups are, they are very immodest. Yeah, it's hmm. uh, you know how some people are chain smokers. I am chain coffee drinker. Hmm. Hmm. No vices at all. Healthy life. Fucking vibrates into next dimension. Hmm. 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 love it when when an image starts looking exactly the way you want it to, like at some point, and then it's just then it's just rendering and small details and stuff like that. That's gonna be fun. Hey, Ricardo. Yeah, I fucking love Ravine as well. Like this, like Ravine has been made and remade so many times, like that this final remake is gonna be like my kind of final tip of the hat to something that's been following me since the early days of college. Because Ravine started with me drawing Linda in an armor. That's really what it was. I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna draw you with an armor. Here, you got a dragon. And you know, I kind of never could have let it go. I was kind of obsessed with the fucking book, and it's just like it kept growing. The world kept settling. Like the worst part about Ream right now is like you've seen 2 volumes, but you haven't seen any of the actual good stuff, and that's oof. You've been noticed, ramen noodles, and you know why I've been noticed? Because I got these glasses now. I can read at a distance. Hmm. I remember back in the day when I was doing streaming, and I'm just like every time on OBS, I'm like leans in into the fucking screen. It's like, let me see now. Hey Nelson, I didn't even notice you, buddy. Yeah, fantasy books are so much fun to make, but the genre itself is so fucking hard to make to succeed with it. Like it's just I don't know. Like it's big in actual book format, but you try and do it in a comic book format, and it's just falls apart. I don't know why. Like don't get me wrong, there's been successful fantasy books, but it's fucking hard. Like there's like any other genre like is having an easier like I made a book about two women exploring BDSM while wondering why they can't tell each other I love you. And that's a fucking bestseller. And yet fantasy every time. Hey, Linda Nelson says hi. I believe you heard that because I think they heard that on the island across the sea. Huh? Maybe. My microphone is always loud enough. Oh God, no, 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 no. I am to, to quote an artist whose streams I generally troll every now and then. I am but a hack. Oh yeah, fucking face palming a week, please. Most of the times it tends to be like it's like 5 minutes after posting online. It's like yeah, I posted it. It looks great. I'm so happy with it. Clicks off, clicks back on. Let me see. What the fuck did I post? Yeah, Monstrous is an actual success. Like just nothing but highest congratulations for that. For because like it's like no joke. It's fucking hard to get a fantasy book to stick. A lot of it I think comes down from just the very genre itself. Like it's it tends to be a genre that requires explaining a lot. It's like it tends to spend a lot of time explaining itself, the world, and all that. And I would know I fucking wasted a lot of time on that. And there are good ways to go around that. There are good ways to fucking circumvent that. It's just you know we we as creators tend to think up those ways after we've kind of learned it the hard way. Yeah, exactly. Also, oh god, but Battle Chasers though is like Joe Madureira is like, so here's a mega hit. I'm just gonna stop now. This guy, look at the kitty. I gotta go. Yeah, it's like I made the thing, but I'm not gonna finish it though. Meanwhile, I'm here just obsessing about that moment when I get to the ending of it all, you know. Because Ravine's ending, for instance, like the sheer scope of that thing, it is legions of fucking mounted dragons fighting a goddamn elder god, where like two characters basically where one of the characters basically finds a dragon tier of an elder dragon Mergarand and assumes his form so that he can fight it, while the other heroes are basically trying to incapacitate the elder god and finding really cool ways of doing it while in the battlefield. It's an absolute fucking insanity. Like the final battle would have been about 100 pages long. Like you have no idea what I had planned for that shit. Like I was consciously like building up all of my materials on the backside because Ravine basically was this nice combination where I would do where I would make models in 3D and then I would where I would kind of craft models in ZBrush, right? I would make dragons from scratch. Like there's some videos of it here on my YouTube, and I would make like armors and shit like that because those are the kind of things that I knew that at the end of the story I would have to fucking fill the pages with them. Like I would have to make that shit Lord of the Rings times 10, okay? And like you know, I knew that was waiting for me, so I was getting that shit ready. And unfortunately, the fucking series flopped so hard that it's just like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to take 5 years to recover financially. it's gonna, this one hurt. Rat Queens was fun. I loved Rat Queens. Yeah, same with movies. Like Hobbit was it. Hobbit's biggest problem was it tried to be Lord of the Rings, really, but like it almost had the audiences, and then of course came the second movie, and people realized that this thing was feeling very stretched, and at some point became Legolas is a god show. What's a nice plug for my YouTube? The stream? Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's certainly better than what I was usually doing with my YouTube, which is fucking nothing. Honestly, I like this YouTube streaming because YouTube's chat window is nice and large, so that I can actually kind of keep track of things in a very easy way. Like it's an art stream, so it's never gonna have tens of thousands of people fucking commenting, so you can actually interact. And the chat window is nice and large and well contrasted, so I don't have a problem just kind of looking up and going, is there more death visual? Yep, I am right now working on volume 2. And volume 2 is absolutely insane. Hmm. I've actually been posting a lot of previews because that video right now is funded by my Patreon, and once the volume is completed, it's gonna go to print. So it's gonna be like we're skipping the whole single issues completely from now on with all of my comics. I don't bother with it. It's just all the hassle, none of the profits. So what I do is I make the comics, and then we send it to print. Like we send it to print as a graphic novel. And of course, every single one of them is gonna have a nice big old thank you note to my patrons at the end because holy shit, like that visual would not fucking exist without them. Like they're just not even like that's not even questionable. Like there's no fucking way. Yeah, Hobbit was what Bilbo said he felt like, in Lord of the Rings. I feel stretched like butter scraped over too much bread. Yeah, that was Hobbit in a nutshell. Which is so weird. Like, as a nerd of this Tolkien stuff, like the only thing I've never read was Silmarillion because it was never available back in the day. But like, I love a lot of the stuff they did with Hobbit. Like there were people who are complaining about the presence of Azog, and I'm like, you know what? If they were gonna add anybody as a kind of a nemesis character, Azog was the perfect choice because Azog was mentioned in the book. He was just not there at the Battle of the Five Armies, but Bolg was, you know. So there was a lot of this stuff that was added that felt it fit, you know. It's just the stuff that they kept on adding because they're like, we gotta fucking stretch it into 3 movies, and like, just no way that anybody can convince me that they added it because they were like, no, no, this is for the story to be better. It's like, here's a romance that does nothing. Cool, excellent. You tried, movie. Hmm. I still love the movies though. Like it's kind of one of those movies that I will sit down at least once a year and look at them. You know, I fucking adore what's his name is Bilbo, and I adore what's his name is Smaug. I I'm by the way I'm terrible with names. Like just okay, well yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is Smaug. I fucking love him as Smaug. What's the name of the guy who plays Bilbo? He's Watson. Oh, I I can't. But I was like, you'll have to excuse me. I'm juggling 6 worlds in my head at any given point in time, and all the characters within those worlds. I can't fucking be bothered with real people. Who's got time for that? I got people that I have to make up. Mm, mm, Martin Freeman, thank you. That's why I have the chat, so that I can pretend to know shit. Mm, it's like I knew that. Mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah, I love the extended stuff in the making of documentaries. Like this was the one thing that the making of Hobbit. Like my God, the process of making Smaug, the process of fucking making all the designs and outfits and all every just God damn it, like that shit's that's my porn. Okay, like that and watching people restore old paintings. That's just unzips. It's just like seriously, whenever I see stuff like that, I'm just like I'm gone. It's so funny. Whenever Linda Linda catches me, I'm scrolling down Facebook, right? And like one of those videos comes like, look at this old fucking uh fucking iron that no what's it called the thing. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's this old rusty bread cutter, and now watch us restore it. And I'm like, yes, go on. Just stop. Stops. Oh, restoring paint. Don't, honey. Hmm. I kind of want to watch that again now. Yep. These. It's 24th century. They literally are fucking having like permanent cyber lenses and shit like that. Mm, 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 mm. Seriously, that moment when when they like put on all that fucking chemicals on the painting, and then they remove that top layer of grime, and you're just like, oh my God, look at the color. Seriously, I have problems. Okay, I'm working on that. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, let me see something. Here, let me do my texture bullshit. Let me Let me hit this with some of that good old Stjepan nonsense. Mm, okay. Mm, mm. Eh, This brush is so fucking old that it's still among my earliest brushes. Mm, mm. So let me combine it like this. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, Eureka on my Patreon? Yeah. That's from Fine Print. Yeah, it's there. If you're a $5 or $6 tier, just search Fine Print. That you'll find it. Like it's just go to the most recent update that has a PDF attached to it, and just enjoy everything so far. There should be. Let's see. I think there's like. Oh, let me see. F and fine print. We are at yeah 95 pages in so far. So there's a chunk of content there. Yes, a true artist would draw every scale individually, and that's why I'm a fucking hack. Okay, that's when people are like, "You're an artist." I'm like, "Nope." See, when you say you're an artist, you go with the pressure of being an artist. I don't deal with that shit. I'm a fucking cheating bastard. You know what else a true artist would do? Fucking render shit separately. I'm not about that life. So let me first play here duplicate layer. Now now you're gonna see me do some disgusting shit, just awful, just my god. If there are kids watching this stream, they probably shouldn't. This is just some degenerate bullshit right now that I'm gonna unleash upon this piece of work. Oh my god. Oh my god, why do people even fucking read my stuff? Oh my god, I am the actual fucking worst. This is cancer. This is just. Show backdrop. We're looking for layer 2. And I'm gonna drop. No, I'm gonna put it in behind. Now you're gonna see something fucking gross. Depth. A real artist should know better. Me out here just being an absolute fucking degenerate with fucking just you using tools in Photoshop to do the things that Photoshop tools are capable of doing. Ugh. Scales go brrr. Exactly. Mm, 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 mm. Now let's see something. Soft light. Okay. Image adjustments, hue saturation, lightness. Okay. Let me see with maybe overlay. Okay. Perfect. Just perfect. Just perfect. Mm, mm, mm. Unlimited power. Mm, mm, mm. Hey, one of these days, I'm gonna make one of these streams that are just gonna be kind of Stjepan teaching people his bullshit. And then I'm gonna be like, now go and sin into the world. Now let's fuck around and find out. All right, we'll merge this. See, and this is how you do stupid things like that. But now, considering I don't want to fucking match the rendering quality of this, I gotta fucking simplify this because I'm not about this goddamn effort. I'm not about that life, thank you very much. So I'm just gonna first off layer, new layer via copy. But what did I do? What did I do? Wait, what? Instead of merging down, I went and merged visible. What an absolute fucking just yeah. And then I'm like, what's happening? Layer filter artistic, because I'm gonna pretend that I am artistic. Cut out. Now the cool thing with cutout filter, see, is it simplifies things. Like it reduces information. You know, you can you can you can reduce the amount of colors that it uses. You know, and then you can simplify it even further. So let's say you need something very basic for a comic, right? So it's like you can do these kinds of textures. This is how I used to do scales in Aquaman, right? I would just kind of render them like this real quick and then just apply cutout filter and victory, you know? So, you know, I can do crazy shit like that then. And now the cool thing is also that I can do something like this where I simplify it, right? And then I reduce the opacity of this layer so that I soften it up, you know. It's just like there's some of the original rendering is pulling through and some of it isn't. And then wherever the transitions are a bit too harsh for what I want it to be, I could just kind of apply a very soft kind of an eraser thing and you know just kind of smooth it out. It's a nice little trick and it's useful, especially when you're doing superhero comics and you need to pull off some bullshit fucking texture on a costume like that. Fuck that noise. I'm not about to fucking draw that shit one scale at a time. Go fuck yourself. Wow, I'm turning into fucking Incase. Like he's talking rude like this. I am not a rude person like that. Okay, I'm a polite person. I'm a nice person. on the inside. Exactly, Candace. This is the way. This is the way we draw. Okay, optimal. Fucking SpongeBob School of Art. Oh, I see where the problem is. I'm like, why is it smudging it? You're not supposed to smudge it. You're supposed to make it look pretty. Well, prettier. All right, I'm gonna do a few more things on this, and then I'm gonna be ending the stream because I gotta go back and draw people fucking. I mean, what? Exactly, Liz. It's like, oh my god, what kind of an artistic god are you? Those tattoos look perfect every time. I'm like, I know, I drew them by hand every single time. And his dark heart withered for once again. From fucking lying. You know, funny thing is somebody on Tumblr picked up on the fact that uh, Sophia here, she's lesbian. It's not a big thing in the story. It's just kind of there's a little bit of a subplot with her and this chick that maintains her mech. It's nice, but it's this isn't Sunstone, so it's not gonna be about you know just their romantic lives and shit. It's like it's gonna be a part of it. Like my firm belief is in these kinds of stories, people fight hardest when they got something to protect, or someone to protect. So somebody, I gave her a code name Sappho, and that's something that there's a really cute scene in the comic where this chick basically suggests her Sappho as her code name because she actually just enjoys poetry, and I was like, that's the only reason why she told her that. And the funny thing is, somebody's like, her name is Gagarin, like Yuri Gagarin. Wait, Yuri. And then they fucking went in on that. It's like it's because she likes girls, and in Japanese mangas that's called the Yuri genre. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's why. That just cracked me up to know. And I'm like, I didn't even plan. I mean, I planned this. I don't know. They haven't seen my brush set for eyeglasses. Every single character I make that has glasses, I make those glasses into a brush so I can just fucking stamp that shit on. But hey, you gotta enjoy it when life just aligns like that, you know? Yeah, sometimes the universe just kisses you like that. It's just like, yes, that is a. I'm guessing the stream just had a hiccup. Oh, I'm pretty sure every single writer out there had those kinds of moments. Because sometimes, like we improvise a lot. It's kind of the nature of the thing. It's just like we start writing, and then all of a sudden we realize that things are aligning that we never even intended to align. But oh my God, all of a sudden something that was okay turns into brilliant. Yeah, I know. I noticed that chat disconnect. But anyways, it should be about that time where I kind of wrap the stream up in for today. But I'm gonna be just streaming here more often. I actually find this to be a very fucking pleasant experience for streaming. Like, it's very easy to kind of keep an eye on the chat, which for me is a big thing because I hate straining my eyes, and I don't have to keep my OBS up constantly. Like I can look at directly at the YouTube chat itself. So that's a definite. It's gonna be a pog champ for me. Wow, I feel terrible right now after saying that. Mm, 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 mm. She's got a nice bulge. Oh yeah, it's very defined. It's very bone-tacular. Mm. Wait, I'm blending the wrong bulge. I'm blending the robot's bulge right now. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, let me just do a real quick test because I want to see. Because when the whole thing is done, I'm also gonna do like some sort of illumination amplifications. So let's first try some soft lights overlay just for the fun of it, and then some. Mm, mm. I like some unifying tones, and then I'm gonna just as a test do the thing where I do the thing and the stuff. Mm. Okay, let's see overlay. Uh, mm, mm. Because I'm gonna punch up the light on her, and then I'm gonna have layer, new layer, and I'm gonna have some hard light. This is just kind of a testing, because the thing with this kind of a nanofiber hair is it actually kind of glows, so there's gonna be like a nice little bloom thing happening. So that's gonna be all like nice and fancy, new and but then later the screaming and running. Yeah, it's once this is done, it's gonna be quite nice. I'm actually really happy with this. Like I'm actually really happy with this, not just because this is gonna look nice, but because it makes for a nice template for the other covers. I can actually kind of keep going with this theme and just now I just gotta figure out how to chop the damn thing up into 6 volumes. Anyways, thank you all for being here today. I'm gonna be going off now because I gotta take a break by drawing, drawing more, drawing endlessly. It never ends. Have a good one, everybody. And let's see, how do we shut this thing down?